Testing 1, 2. Okay, looks like now I have some volume. That was a little bit weird. How's it going, everyone? Jiivita here, and yes, thank you all very much for the 1,000 subscribers. That is amazing. I was actually blown away. Like, I was awoken out of bed because my phone was blowing up, but people congratulating me. I was like, okay, that's cool. You know, it's like I knew it was coming, just didn't quite realize it was going to be that day, and that I got such a huge response of people congratulating me. But I'm actually here on Testron 2, which is my character I was using for the Quick Start series that I released, I guess, yesterday, or started. And yeah, it's unfortunately regenerated now, but I got up in the middle of the night to record an episode because I couldn't really sleep. And yeah, there's this giant, like, this was high right here. And yeah, and then my name is written in the grass / dirt. Like, I mean, you even have like the double I chiseled, and that's just pretty awesome. So this is Liquid Asylum. So that's pretty awesome. But yeah, as far as what I'm going to be doing today, I don't really have a huge plan. So if there's something you all want to see, just let me know. Otherwise, I think I'm going to go explore the new Tier 6 Shock Worlds. I believe it's called Cardass. And yeah, I just haven't gotten around to exploring that yet. Oh, and there is Liquid Asylum right there. How's it going? Thank you for the sign. Forging, okay. You want to see forging? Okay, I could probably forge something or another. Okay, so let's yeah, let's jump over to my forger / crafter then. Anything in particular you want to see forged? I think looked like I picked up a torch or something. That was weird. Didn't show up there, but yeah, I actually just recorded an episode on how to forge bombs. So let's see here. Yeah, here we go. So we managed to forge some titanium bombs with 6 extra meters of area effect. So that was pretty awesome. AoE tools, hammers. Okay. Let's see here. If I have some hammers. Here we go. I have some titanium hammers. Those will do. And yes, my inventory is a disaster. Here we go. I don't need that rock. Find the input. Let's see here. Oh, there they are. And yeah, longevity would be nice. Let's definitely need some special. Looks like I put it. Here we go. So yeah, you can target the AoE effect for tools by using the special gum. Down here we have the longevity gum. That's going to add some extra durability. That's kind of going to be a backup. I could try to do like an effect gum to get extra damage, but I don't know, it's really random. We also have this boon removal solvent. That's kind of our get out of jail free card. It'll remove the last boon applied. In case we get something that like a glowing boon or something that we just absolutely do not want. And it looks like I'm going to need some more compounds. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and get 2 of these just because I'm going to be forging 9 hammers at the same time. It's going to use a lot of stuff. I don't think I have any more pure boon 2. Do I have some more 1? Probably won't need that much. And let's see here, let's begin. So we got 11. So yeah, that should be enough. So yeah, just start off. Let's place 4 or 5 special gums. X? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Michael. I think that's Mikhail. Oh, hey. How's it going? And there's 4. How about... yeah, let's go ahead and do 5. And then maybe 1 longevity. Yeah, let's do 5 and then 1. Still trying to figure out kind of a balance between, okay, I want the AoE effect, but I also want a little bit of something else. And yeah, we'll probably get some random stuff we don't even want, but just start off with our Pure Boon 3 and just keep going until we get stuff. That's a lot of smiley faces. Okay, so we missed the first time, no big deal. Next time we'll get a full bar, so we'll at least get something in there. There we go. I hope that's yes. Okay, that was a misprediction. It's like, I don't know what boon that was, but it's not what we were going for. And the cool thing is the special gum is also going to target the loot magnet. So we'll usually get both of those unless we do something about it. It's trying. Okay, so it looked like it was going to do the durability, but yeah, it mispredicted again. Very nice. We're already up to 3, and we really only want to go up to 4 because that's going to give us the all-arounder. If we accidentally go higher than that, then we'll actually get one that it does a random number of blocks hit, but you do 100% damage to all blocks that you have hit. So it's kind of interesting, but it makes for a very chewed up tunneling experience. So we have just a tiny little gap right there, so I'm going to use a Boon Compound 1 to, yeah, so we don't waste points, basically, and materials, because, I mean, these Pure Boon 3s, they use Shimmering Orbs, so... And let's do some more 3. I think that's a little over halfway, but not that big of a deal. There is a list of basically, let's see here, yeah, all the forge boons and what gums, well, not really, or what categories they belong to. I believe it's actually pinned in the Discord questions section. Let's see if I can pull this up right quick. Let's see here. So yeah, the Boundless official Discord and the questions duty channel. There we go. And it's one of these pins. Here we go. Here's the forge. Let's copy that link. Let's go ahead and click on it and make sure. I mean, I know you can't see any of this, but I'm just making sure I'm sending you the right link before I paste it in here. There you go. So, okay, so back to, looks like, okay, so we got an extra, ooh, energy saver. That's actually not a bad one to have. So yeah, let's continue with the Boon Compound 3. We still haven't gotten any extra durability. Okay, so there we go. We got the loot magnet. It looked like it was going to go into that AoE boon, but yeah, it mispredicted again. Hopefully they get that fixed soon, because it can be rather tantalizing. It's like, yes, 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 it's going into the right one, and it's like, no, it went into something different. But let's see here. Ooh, we are just about to hit level 4 for this. And yeah, we don't have even a spot for durability to land, so that's a little unfortunate, but you know, that's forging, it's random, so you can certainly get one boon that you want, but then getting more than that is very, very tricky. Unless, of course, they're on the same special or the same category like special. So, you know, the loot magnet and the AoE are both special. Gaming review, love your videos. Oh, thank you so much. Same from Nazik Play. I think that's how you say that. Who knows? I'm terrible with names, so I think that's been well established. And surely, well, I guess it could go into the AoE, which it looks like, but okay, there we go. So now we have the all-arounder boon, so this is going to hit 9 blocks at the same time. Each block it does hit is going to be 60% damage. So if we really wanted to, we could keep going and rank this up to level 5, which is the maximum, but then it hits a random pattern of blocks each time. So it could hit 1, it could hit 9, 7. It does do 100% damage to each block you do hit, but it just really chews the area up. They're kind of hard to use, really. So but let's go ahead and use our setting resin and finalize this process because, yeah, I don't want to use my removal solvent and we're kind of full. So take a look at this. So we're only going to be using 12 energy instead of 18, which is nice, not amazing. And then, yeah, we have the loot attraction, and then, yeah, all effect adjacent. So very, very nice. I should be streaming to Twitch right now. I guess I should probably check on that. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm using Restream, so theoretically it's streaming to both Twitch and YouTube at the moment, but who knows, something could be wrong. Twitch DP. Okay, it says I'm streaming Boundless, and gotta love commercials. Twitch chat reporting in. So very nice. So yeah, that is how to I guess I probably should have just recorded that and I could have made its own episode. Maybe I could like rip it down off of YouTube or something and just make it an episode. But yeah, that's how you forge AoE hammers. So let's see here, Mr. Yeah, there's not enough valves in that name. Actually, there's no valves in that name. Okay. Thanks for you guys on Boundless. They're super underrated and have helped me very much. So no problem, Mr. I have no clue what that name is supposed to be. It's got an MRMGHZ1. So interesting name. So, anything else you want to see forged? I'm not sure what else I really have to forge. We already did some bombs. I mean, that's going to be its own episode probably next week. So, am I considering branching off to other games? I've been saying for probably 9 months now, and maybe considering it even longer than that, of branching out, and I thought I was going to do No Man's Sky when the new patch landed, and I guess I did do one live stream, but yeah, Boundless was releasing, and it's like, I don't know, I just can't seem to pull myself away from Boundless. It's like it's been a tidal wave of video requests and just kind of scrambling to try to produce content as quickly as possible. So I guess if things settle down a little bit with Boundless, I might try some No Man's Sky or really anything. But sadly, you cannot forge Explorer's Fist. So yeah, it's like you can stick them in there and nice, looks easier, looks a lot easier than it is. So yeah, it's just a matter of continuing to use the forge, and it starts to make more sense. And of course, having power helps. So I could forge those same hammers in this forge over here that has no power, except it just wouldn't be as big of an effect. So, But coming back to the Explorer's Fist, you can put them in the forge, you can start the process, but like the points just don't go into anything. It's like you can fill up the boon bar completely and nothing happens. So I guess there's just no boons that are able to go onto the Explorer's Fist. So, which makes sense because it is like a very special item. Why would they go to the trouble to add forge boons for it and then try to balance it, and for only a select few players that can actually craft the silly things? So even though they are amazing weapons. Plot prestige, sure. So let's see here, let's open up the debugging menu and debugging information, pull this up, and somewhere is it. Here we go. So debugging information, come down to selection and then beacon, and then right here you can see the base prestige of your beacon. And if you're playing on PlayStation, I'm very sorry you can't look at this information because the PlayStation does not have the debugging menu, but this will help kind of explain how everything is figured up. So but then down here we have the final prestige. So I only have 86,000 prestige, but after all of these bonuses down below, I have 136,000 prestige, which is really only for this particular beacon because my home is actually split between two beacons. So come over here, and yeah, this one's only 8,800, and then over here it's 86,000 as the base. Okay, let's see here. Is Boundless worth $40? I would say Boundless is worth more than $40, but that's just my personal opinion. I mean, I've put nearly 3,000 hours on this game, so I think I paid originally $36 for it, and since have bought several extra copies of the game to use for like recording purposes, and so yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends on what kind of game you like to play. If you like sandbox games and like playing with other people, this is an amazing game to play. But if you don't like MMOs, like, you know, MMOs are a little bit on the grindy side, certainly compared to Minecraft, this is a much higher time investment to kind of actually get somewhere. So it comes down to what you like to play and the experience you're looking for, but personally I find this game absolutely amazing. So we can check prestige on beacon. Yes. So yeah, you can come over here and look at your beacon and see all sorts of information on it, and I can't see as much because I'm not on the beacon owner, but you can't see things like the base prestige. And if you come down here, you can see I'm getting all these percent bonuses. So I have 4% bonus for variation. That is because I've used more than just one block, basically. As your beacon gets bigger, or if you're just spamming the same block over and over, this percent will go down. If you manage to work in a lot of different blocks, you can actually get this percentage to go up. There's also an exotic ratio, which, if I'm understanding that correctly, that is basically a bonus for using blocks that come from another planet, or maybe just the higher level planets. There's a size bonus, which I think they actually removed that because it was kind of borderlining on pay to win, because you could like buy more qubits to buy more plots to make your beacon bigger. That would then bump your prestige up a little bit. So I think they removed that, which is why it's 0% now. There's also a built ratio, and that's just kind of a measure between how much of your beacon is natural terrain versus been removed and built into something else. So like I have a really low build ratio because so much of my beacon is actually reserving the forest above me. Like, it's a ridiculous number. Well, here we go, 876 plots reserved to protect the forest above me. So that really hurt my build ratio. And then down here we have the chisel ratio. That's just a measure between how many blocks you have versus how many are chiseled. And I think the maximum, unless they've changed something, is somewhere around 21-ish%. I don't remember exactly, but so it doesn't matter how many times you chisel a block. It's just, is there a block? Is it chiseled? If so, it applies to this chisel ratio. So and then down here you can see the total, so I'm getting an extra 58%, which is pretty low. I've seen this total bonus percent be as high as like 150%. So by balancing all of these bonuses, you can really boost the final prestige of your build. And I think I've heard several messages, so let's kind of back up here. What is the key for opening the debugging menu? So by default, it's F1. So again, you cannot access this on PS4, but PC you can hit F1, and you can even go into the controls, and I think it's like all the way down at the bottom. You can customize that key. Okay, it is called Eden Star. You might like it, so I guess that's maybe a game I could branch out. Game is definitely worth it. We can check beacon prestige on the beacon. Oh my god, all that coin. All that coin. Where do you see all that coin? This character actually doesn't have very much coin. That's 58,000. That's not too shabby. I love the setup of your place. Thank you very much. My build will take about 1,500 active plots when it's finished. Wow, that is going to be an epic build. You're going to have to give me like the coordinates to that build, because I want to see a build that requires that many plots. That would be awesome. Is it possible to slope chisel the corners of blocks, or do you have to have the chisel epic? Also, how does the chisel epic work? So you can chisel the corners of blocks if you have the chisel epic and you're using a precise chisel. So the basic chisels are stone, iron, and copper, and then the precise chisels are the silver, gold, and titanium. And then there's gem counterparts to each of those with the 6 gems. So there'll be like a basic gem chisel and then a precise version. So like the precise bevel is diamond, and that's about it that I know. The sapphire I know is a precise square, but it's all in the name of the chisels. So if it just says chisel, then it's going to be it'll take 2 corners at a time. If it's precise, it'll take 1 corner at a time, if you have the epic. That will be just for the cathedral? Oh, wow. Okay, so 1,500 plots for a cathedral. That's pretty awesome. How does a skill set work? Do you need level 50? So Dave Z, technically you don't have to be level 50 to use a skill set. However, you can't take, you can't like respend your skill points basically. So let's hop over to a better character. Let's hop over to Jiivita. So like you can spend your skill points in one tree, but if you have an extra tree, you can't like respend those skill points. So you kind of have to decide, do you want to split your skill points between 2 trees, or just wait until you have the first one filled out and then fill out a second one. So come over here. So I've gone ahead and I unlocked all 3 skill sets just because I had the qubits to do it at the time, and just kind of wanted to earmark them for this purpose. But here's skill set 1, so I have 100 points spent into it. And then over here, you see I have 40 skill points left over that I could spend in the second skill set over here. This is like my skill set that I use for chiseling or opening up portals and just kind of utility things like that. So I'm actually trying to get enough skill points to fill out this third one to be like a hunter or something. But yeah, I cannot spend these skill points into this tree. So as I was leveling, I could have, like, you know, taken 50 points and put into one tree, 50 points into the other tree, but there's really, you're hard pressed to think of a situation where that's really beneficial. Like, certainly you could use an extra skill set to do just crafting skills, and then another skill set for like gathering, but you would still be better off spending all of those points into your gather and making a whole separate character just to do your crafting, because it's easier to level a new character than it is to over level your first character, or level 50 plus over and over, because once you hit level 50, it's 200 K experience each time you want to level up again, which isn't too bad, but still, it takes a lot longer than leveling a new character. Okay, so Stunning Sir's asking, are you using a program to plot how you want the build to look? Are you talking about like my skill set or my actual building? So in the past I've used Magic Voxel. Like, the layout of my workshop was made in early access, so I basically rebuilt it in Magic Voxel so I'd have something to refer to, and then rebuilt it in this game, or after launch. And as far as like a skill calculator outside of the game, I know Stretchius is working on one, but it's not ready yet, to the best of my knowledge. Oh, thank you for Prometheus. So, yeah. Would it be possible to give us a mini tour of your base, please, Jiivita? So, Simteku. So, sure. I mean, you're literally looking at it right now. So when I started the game, I was playing with Kippy, and yeah, we started, of course, on a homeworld, and we very quickly went to Betulia, and I think we came in over off in this direction. We tried building on top of a lake, and the Cuddle Trunks ran us off. We were really low level and we really couldn't survive any of the creatures, so we literally made a mad dash, found this forest, and it's like, okay, let's just dig into the side of a hill, which is this right here, and just kind of hollowed out a little area, and literally we just played inside of this cave system until we could survive the outdoors. And so yeah, we were like dwarves or hobbit people for quite some time until we leveled up. And sadly, this is all that we have so far. Not that this is any small feat with all the crafting machines, but we just haven't really gotten much beyond basically these two rooms. So this side over here is Kippy's area with some storage. And actually, I guess this doesn't go through, so that's a little bit strange. I don't come over to her side that often. But here's some more storage area. And originally we had all of our crafting machines right here, which was pretty cluttered. And got all my titanium furnaces right here, more storage. And over here, this is kind of for storing tools and equipment, potions, extra food. I try to keep my forged and unforged stuff kind of separated, but I'm not known for my organization as far as storage. So yeah, it's a little bit messy. And then, of course, this side is kind of my crafting area, so I have all these machines kind of set up a little bit fancily. Other side is Kippy's over here, so this is all her crafting, and kind of in the process of giving her some power for her machines. But yeah, she mostly goes out and gathers massive amounts of stone to power level her characters. So, but and then we have all the storage down below. I came up with this design because I was just kind of had like a wall of machines, and then storage was kind of built in between it, and at a certain point it's like just wasn't enough storage. So this was kind of my solution, is like, okay, I never want to have to worry about needing additional storage ever again. And yeah, this is probably going to have to be expanded at some point, but that is basically the tour of at least the inside. The outside, there's not much to show other than this entire forest is basically reserved. So you can just go for a ridiculous distance, or basically all of these trees are reserved in some way. So there's kind of just the plot view to give you some idea of what's going on. So it's not all protected, it's just reserved. And eventually we're going to like expand out here and kind of do some landscaping and maybe actually build some buildings above ground. But those are very much long-term goals. So okay. So that is basically the tour, so to speak. It's not much of a tour, it feels like, but yeah. And a note on the actual design, so I came up with basically the layout. Kippy did most of, well, we agreed on like the colors and materials, but then she came up with like the floor designs, the ceiling design, and the crystal is my design, however. And eventually there's going to be like some hanging down leaves. I'm going to make it look like the crystal is kind of like breaking through the ceiling a little bit. So kind of like simulate some damage on these blocks. And so, yeah. So most of the credit as far as like how it looks is Kippy's. And the layout is me. So great feat, 1K. XP and 500 coins waiting for you in the exchange. Oh, okay. Well, I guess not. Did I have to spend real money? I did not spend any real money to get those plots. Other than, I guess I do have the Oort title, so that gives me 3 times the plots. And if I can remember how to view it, I think it's, oh yeah, profile. So yeah, Oort status. And yeah, so I have a 200% perk bonus. So yeah. So normally I would only have 389 plots, but with this perk bonus, it gives me just over 1,000 plots. So that did cost real money to get this status. However, I did not buy qubits to actually buy plots. So, but certainly get a whole bunch of other cool perks for being an Oort. I actually have a whole bunch of extra game keys. I'm going to do some kind of giveaway at some point. I'm just not really sure how to do it just yet. And then also, if they ever get around to adding the dev worlds, I can actually live on those worlds instead of just visit them. So that would be pretty cool to like live next door to James or any of the other devs, really. So, ooh, can I show you my 3x5x5 machine setup with space for 24 coils, maintenance access when I get back, and any more compact setups available? So sure, you can show me. Are you on right now, or that's Prometheus? Yeah, I'd love to see that. So you can either come get me, or we can meet somewhere, or you can just give me coordinates. And yeah, not really too concerned about compact setups, but there's certainly a lot of different ways to cram a lot of machines into a very tight area. How's it going, Franklin? Shame they don't have personal planets or moons. Moons would be kind of interesting. Eventually you will be able to rent a private server, and you can basically control like who can access the planet or plot there, and that sort of thing. So eventually you'll be able to have like a private planet, but currently not so much. And the the Ocean title, that was like a backer level. So back in early access before release, you could basically buy the game at different levels to show your support for Boundless, and each package had a whole bunch of different perks. So unfortunately, you can no longer get it unless somebody gifts you one of their extra keys, because I think it's like it gave you 8 basically Ocean keys, and so you could, you know, of course, use one for yourself and then gift it to up to well, I guess what, 7 other people. But I actually upgraded with several other players to be able to basically afford it because it was rather expensive. And so yeah, I think most of the keys are already been used for my particular package. Yeah, thankfully I did not have to spend that much money. So Boundless Haas was saying it costs 4,500 euros. I think it was 5,000 US dollars. And so yeah, I did not have to pay that much, but it was still a pretty penny, so. Oh, nice. I hope you're enjoying your holiday, Prometheus. So he says, I'm on holiday at the moment, accidentally caught this live stream. I don't think my portal is open anymore. Oh, that's sad. From Ultima Aqua, but it's on Finata. Would love your ideas on it at some point, though. Thanks. Yeah, that would be cool. Dave Z was asking, do you make any sling bows with range higher than 20 meters? So, I mean, you can. So let's see here. I'm not, I think it's the, well, okay, it would be the longevity gum that would increase the range. However, you would also probably want the lightness gum to increase the speed, because just increasing the range, it doesn't affect the arc. So if you increase the range without increasing the speed, you kind of need to balance the two to get an effective range, because if you have a really bad arc and you increase the range, it's like, well, the projectile will travel for longer, but it will still just take a nosedive for the ground. So that's kind of been something on my to-do list, is actually to forge some sling bows. I made a couple, but they were pretty dismal because I think I have them on me, maybe. And it's not that one. There's one that it got extra damage, but it made the projectile heavier, so it made the arc even worse. It was pretty dismal. So this one does have 18 extra meters of range, but there's nothing that makes the projectile go faster, so it doesn't change the arc. So it can go up to 43 meters, but after a while, those 43 meters are just going straight down to the ground. So that's kind of sad. But the longevity does range, and I believe it's the lightness gum that does speed. So you kind of need those two in conjunction, or just use maybe something like a topaz sling bow that I think it has a naturally faster projectile. I know at least shoots faster, but the projectile might be not necessarily a lot different. So Nick was asking, if you increase the range of bombs, is there a difference between level 2 and level 3, which both say 1 meter? So in my video that I actually recorded today where I made such a bomb, I think what's going on is that each rank of the boon is adding like a 0.5 or 0.2, 0.6, you know, a point something. However, the tooltips don't show decimals, period. So you actually don't see an effect until it finally adds up to be an extra meter. So if I remember correctly from the video, like rank 3 will show 1 extra meter, rank 5 it bumps up to 2 extra meters, rank 9 it'll start showing 3 extra meters. However, all of those stages in between, I believe it's still increasing the blast radius. It's just it's not a full meter or a full block. So I wish that was maybe explained a little bit better, and that's also kind of a theory, so you may not actually get any benefit until it actually does show an extra meter, or it could be just hidden. I guess I could probably forge some and try to test it out, like, you know, get a rank 2 and a rank 3 and see if I can tell a difference in the crater that it creates. Oh, well, let's see here. Here we go. I have 3 right now. So they got 3 extra meters of AoE, 6 knockback, which is lame, and it uses 8 less energy. So none of that really affects bomb mining, but it does have the max AoE on there, except that it was a rank 9 instead of a rank 10. So there might be, you know, if that rank 10 actually does give you like an extra half of a block, then it might not be the absolute maximum, but yeah, can't actually tell if that makes a difference or not. Okay, cheer for all your tutorial videos. Only knew about this game on PS4 on release day, watched your videos, then bought it. Glad I did. So yeah, welcome to Boundless. So Boundless hash says maximum is +4 Jiivita. That's interesting. I've never seen anybody spell my name with a B before. At level 10. Oh, like +4 meters? I've gotten rank 10 and it's only ever said 3 meters. But that's interesting. But if you have a 4-meter bomb, that would give you theoretically 8 meters of range. So, oh, mistyped. Yeah, I kind of figured the B and the V are pretty close together, so no worries. Yeah, like almost everybody misspells my name, so I'm very used to it. Usually they'll use like, or leave out the double I or something. But I've seen some pretty interesting spellings of my name over the years. Regarding partial meters on bombs, you see a difference if you chisel your bomb tunnel and throw it in on the line between 2 blocks. Partial meters will damage the next block out. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, yeah, well, I saw the hash, so I kind of was wondering. And I think my phone is blowing up from all of the comments. Sorry about that. Maybe put that on silent. There we go. My phone's sitting on my desk and I just hear all this random or rapid vibrating. Like I couldn't even play the notification sound. But so yeah, welcome to the live stream, Hash. Okay, well, I think I've caught up on all of the comments. So anything else you all want to see? Otherwise, I'll probably wander off and do something random, like explore Cardass. Which actually, if we do that, I think I'm going to need to tweak my spec just a little bit, because I don't think I have... Yeah, that's why I've been putting this off. I only have 3 points in potent protection. So let's see here. What can we move around? Well, that's probably my best option because I don't really want to mess with either bombs or hammers. So yeah, we can sacrifice a little bit of defense. And there we go. Confirm selection. And if we're going to go bomb mining on that planet, we're going to need some different bombs. So that's kind of one of my motivations, is I need more sapphires, but I'm kind of lazy. I don't want to go mine the sapphires because you can get more topaz theoretically on the Shock World because it's a higher level planet. You get 3 gems per vein, but yeah, amusingly, I made these bombs completely by accident. They got some extra damage on them, and I couldn't do anything about it. So I was like, well, worst case scenario, I'll use them to blow up holes underneath portals for meteors. But turns out these are perfect for mining on the tier 6 planets with the current spec that I have. So that was a nice, happy coincidence. So we can go bomb mining if we want to. It doesn't hurt to have these. We got some rough topaz, so... Okay, so I'm stuck on making my first precious metals and ancient tech that looks like cables, so I assume I need a tier planet for those things. I am trying to make my first refinery and compactors. Is it possible to get diamonds with just... Is it possible to get diamond with hammers without using bombs, or is it going to be the grindiest thing ever? So... yeah, mining through solid rock to get diamonds, that's probably one of the grindier things in Boundless. It is certainly possible. Just find a really big mountain, go down to like elevation 6 and start strip mining. So like dig a tunnel as long as you can stand to dig it, and then bump over like 3 blocks and then build another tunnel in parallel and just kind of keep going to maximize the rock that you're exposing and your chances of finding diamonds. As far as precious metals and tech components, you can find tech components on any tier 3 planet, so that's good to know. Silver and gold can be found on tier 3 metal planets, which I think there's still only one metal planet, or maybe, no, I think they did add another one. But certainly going to a tier 4 or even a tier 5 will be better for finding precious metals. And actually, just going to a tier 5 planet and looking for diamonds is going to get you all of the gold, titanium, not necessarily silver unless you deliberately dig higher than you need to for diamonds. But that's actually what I ended up doing. As far as getting enough silver for... crafting your first machines that require silver, you can do meteors on level 3 planets, and that will get you silver eventually. If you put like 4 or 5 points into kinetic armor, you'll be immune to just about everything they can throw at you, and that is actually how I built my first machines, like the compactor and refinery and all of that. How do you tell your elevation though? So are you going to put the whole of the live stream on YouTube? Missed the first hour. Wow, I've already been streaming for an hour. That's awesome. Yes, so the entire thing will be available to watch both on Twitch and YouTube. You'll be able to watch it indefinitely on YouTube. I think Twitch deletes them after a period of time. So you can rewatch the parts that you've missed. And was there a forging ingredient which cleared the buffs? I saw that one, I can't seem to find it. So that was the boon removal. I was using the 1. There is actually a 2, but it uses more vigor. So the removal 1 does... Oh, I'm on the wrong character. But let's see, let's just switch over to my crafter. So the removal 1 uses 100 vigor, but it only gives you back 50% of the boon points that was tied up in that buff that you don't want. You can make a removal 2, and it gives you back 100% of the boon points. However, it uses 200 vigor, and really, I didn't see that extra vigor cost being worth it. So... should be, it's not gums, it's solvents. Here we go. So Centriforge solvents right here, boon removal solvent 1, that's the one I use. Here's the better version basically. And yeah, so the higher level version uses shadow orbs, which really isn't that big of a deal. The main thing, at least for me, are the wild stock horn trophies. But certainly you can make the lower level one and it only uses shimmering orbs. It does require 1500 power and doesn't look like it's going to tell me what skill I need. because that could be your problem, is that you don't have a high enough skill. So we can come over here, forge ingredients. There's the catalyst solvents. So you need centriforge crafting level 2. So that's very doable. Oh yeah, it's a pretty advanced item. So yeah, you need power coils. He was saying, ah, dang, I still need power coils. Only ones I have are for the workbench. So that is the unfortunate thing. It's like you can craft a centriforge really early, but until you get power on your extractor, it's almost worthless. It's not completely worthless because you can still make boon or pure boon 1 and 2 compound, which can allow you to make like some basic like loot magnets and some AoE tools, things like that. You can do some basic stuff, but it's not going to be very powerful. And certainly if you're not using gums, you're just going with the random effects, you might not be able to actually fill them up because they're just going all over the place. So, and I'm still on my crafter. And Jordan said, thanks for all the informative videos, dude. Helped me out a lot so far. Keep up the good work. Oh, thank you so much. I'm happy you found them helpful. If you're looking for a Miney Bunny, I'd be happy to tag along. Again, Jiivita. Okay, so that is Simtex. Oh yeah, Simtex UK. Duh. Okay. I was like, Simtexu, that sounds like Simtex, but what do coils do? Okay, so coils are these fancy looking things right here. These are advanced power coils, and you can see that they're shooting this energy beam over to the machine right there. So they're powering up that machine, and I wish this was worded differently, because like you have the spark generators over here generating spark, which you very easily equate with electricity, which is like, okay, electricity is power. And so oftentimes players misunderstand power coils as like a replacement for spark. Power coils is its own thing. You can think of them kind of like they're like an upgrade for your crafting machine. They're going to boost or augment, give your crafting machine more torque, so you don't have to do anything to generate power. Once you attach a coil, there does have to be like this air gap right here, but once you place the coil, as long as it has enough durability, it will provide that crafting machine with power. So that I have one advanced power coil on this machine, which gives me 300 power. The basic coils, they only give 100 per coil. And yeah, this number, like, it never generates extra power, so this isn't going to accumulate over time. You never use up this power as long as the coil is repaired. It will provide that power, and it just gives like an extra, you know, I think of it as like the gears on a bicycle. It's going to amplify what you are already doing or what the crafting machine is already doing. And certain recipes require power just to be able to craft them, but power will also speed up any recipe that does not require power, or if you have more power than the recipe requires, then it will be sped up by up to like 70 some odd %. So you could take literally, like, to craft mass craft of advanced power coils, I believe it's 12 hours to craft those things, which is insane. But with a little bit of power, you can very easily bump that down to like 3 hours and change. So it can make a huge difference in your craft times. But each time you craft something, they do take a little bit of wear. So as your machine wears out, so do your power coils, and they have a lot of durability. So if you have a lot of coils connected to one machine, it can take a long time to repair them if you don't have like a really fancy spanner. So, hey Twisted Foot, how's it going? Okay. Make Whoop, how's it going? See if there's anybody else I missed while I was talking about power coils. Do you think prices of power quills are too high in general? So coin-wise, if you're trying to buy one from another player, that might be too expensive, but material-wise, I mean, it is a substantial grind to make from scratch all of your power coils, but it's also part of progressing through the game, and, you know, I don't know. It does take a long time to make, but once you finally do make them, it's such a great feeling. It's like, yes, I achieved that goal. So it's like if they were easy to get, it would be no big deal. It'd be like crafting tables. So it's like it does need some difficulty to it, but so it's all a matter of perspective, I guess, is whether or not you think they're too expensive. Okay, so Bad WVB was, or Bab WVB is asking, are you going to put out new skill builds? Do you still use the ones from your videos? So right now I have a bomb mining character and a crafter. So the bomb miner is loosely based off of my mining build. Basically, I have max hammers and then the very particular spec that bomb mine requires. The crafter is basically identical, so I have my crafting and forging together. But I've also made a dedicated lumberjack that I'll go ahead and show off here that is actually really nice. Somebody commented on my channel and asked about making like a stealth gatherer, and it had turned out that I accidentally made a stealth gatherer, and it works really well actually. So let's pop out here, get somewhere kind of safe, and I'll show off what I've done here. This character isn't very high level, but basically chopping wood is one of my least favorite activities because it's like you have to, you know, find a tree and they're usually kind of skinny and you chop the easy bits and then there's all the leaves and stuff up above you with more logs and you really can't reach it. So my initial thoughts were to make a dedicated lumberjack that of course has like all of the, well, apparently I don't have all of the axe stuff, but I do have the axe and shovel epic, max power, the damage epic down below. But what I went for was maxing out my control, which allows me to reach further to be able to hit blocks. So I can literally, let's see here. So I can hit blocks from this range. So I can hit that machine if I wanted to. Let's find, oops. Oh, I tried to open my inventory and opened up the machine instead. There we go. So yeah, I can literally hit this machine all the way from over here. I can hit that block. So this is insanely useful for being able to reach the trunks to be able to hit the high up stuff without having to like jump or grapple. However, the other thing that control does is it has a modifier to your stealth. So each point makes it to where creatures will aggro to you at shorter and shorter ranges. So basically I have to walk up into something's face before it even like reacts to me. And when I, you know, accidentally noticed that, like, oh wow, things aren't really bothering me, I went ahead and came down here and got the shadow effect epic down here, which augments that even further. And so I can literally go to the tier 6 planets and run around, and as long as I don't like run into their faces, they don't bother me whatsoever. So I can run around on that tier 6 planet as what level am I? Well, why is it not? I'm level 30 something. That's weird. Oh, nice. I got all sorts of things to collect. Okay, so there we go. I'm level 35, and yeah, no health, no resistances or defenses. So yeah, endurance is completely empty, and I can harvest stuff on a tier 6 planet, which is insane. So yeah, that is the stealth gatherer in a nutshell. Of course, you could do whatever. It makes the most sense, at least to me, to do like specialized in surface resources. So axes, shovels. I even have the gathering epic down here to get the most out of surface resources. The energy regeneration epic is also invaluable for keeping your stamina up, and then whatever type of exploration skills that you need. So I can actually reclaim one of these points because I only need 4 now. And yeah, I could put in something into these other ones, but we'll just kind of leave that for now. So yeah, that is a stealth gatherer in a nutshell. I'll probably make a dedicated video for that at some point. Okay. I think I got a little backlog done. Your low-level alt is higher level than me. Has anyone seen the huge trees on Airy? Airy? I don't think I've been on Airy. Is that one of the new starter planets? And Mike Tracy would love to have you visit the new capital city in Marix when you do another tour video. Sure, let's see here. Let's add that to my list right quick. Otherwise, I will forget it. So, where is it? So, capital city Marix. There we go. It's on the list. I have no clue when I'll have time to get around to that, but I will check it out at some point. Oh, congrats, Twisted Foot. So I just scrolled back up and Twisted Foot said he made his first power coils last night. Took me, woo, yeah, 6 hours, 45 minutes for a mass batch of them. So yeah, so I guess that would be, yeah, the basic. So the advanced are basically double the time. Jason was asking, what is the best tier type to find coil ingredients? So the main ingredients that you're going to need for coils are going to be, of course, the gems. So that has to be a tier 5 planet. And the cool thing is that if you go and gather all of your own gems, you will get an assortment of everything that you need. So, like, while you mine sapphire, you'll also find lots of tech devices and components. While you mine diamonds, you'll find lots of titanium and hard coal. When you go mining for emeralds, you'll find lots of fossils. Not that you really need fossils, but it's like you can go mining for gems and basically find everything you need. Let's see, your amethyst, you'll find a lot of silver. If you mine around like 14-ish, you'll find a lot of silver while finding amethyst. And so it's actually pretty cool how that is set up. Okay, Jiivita, why do you need that many power coils? I don't get it. If just one provides you 100, you only need 3 to power things up to 300. Well, some recipes require as much as 3,000 power. So there's that. There's not very many recipes that require that much power, but there are a couple. There's several that require 1,500 power, which you actually, I believe, need 1,500 power on your workbench to start making the advanced power coils. So yeah, so you do need a lot of power for some things, which is why pretty much all of my machines have a little bit of power on them, but this center machine will have, let's see here, 3,000 power for anything that needs a lot of power. I built my base amongst those trees, wood for days. Very nice. So yeah, I'll have to check out Airy and see what huge trees are talking about. Okay, so yeah, Chops, Murphin Chops? That's probably a complete butcher, but is asking, how do you take over a settlement and is there any benefit? So, not really. It's bragging rights, I guess. But if you're like, say my shop in Aquatopia, say I wanted to take over Aquatopia, The way I could do that is I could build and build and build and boost the prestige of my shop there to the point that I have the largest share of prestige. So basically I'm the person that has the most prestige invested into that settlement. That then makes me the warden or viceroy, depending on whether or not it's the capital of the planet. And so then you effectively become the leader and you can change the name, and really that's about it. So it's bragging rights, and you'll be able to change the name of the settlement. It's good to note that you only have to have accumulatively have more prestige. It doesn't have to all be in the same build. So you could have several builds scattered all over the city to gain the highest share of prestige. Another way to do it is, say you're settlement X and there's settlement Y across the way. You could expand your settlement over to the other settlement and try to take them over that way. However, if you made like a skinny row of plots, kind of like a road, the game is smart enough to see, oh, that's a road, we're not going to count that. So you basically have to have like a solid square or mass of plots for the game to consider you a settlement. So just building a road over to a settlement, nothing would really happen. But that is a double-edged sword, because now that other settlement, if they have more prestige than your settlement, they can rename the settlement. So you would be the one absorbing them, but then really they're absorbing you. So generally speaking, I would advise against trying to hostilely take over other settlements, but technically it's an option. Okay. Yeah, definitely tier 4 planets, I just skipped them. I didn't find much use for the tier 4 planets. Sad to say. They're great for hunting though. And then Garth Williams was asking what level am I? So I'm level 50, not on this character, but on Jiivita I'm level 50, and I've actually leveled up even past that. It just says like level 50 plus. It doesn't keep track really. So I have some extra skill points, but I think if you added up everything, I'd be like level 75 or something. So I'm getting really close to being able to fill out 2 skill sets completely. So, but let's see here. Profile, yeah, level 50. So, and I'm actually halfway to another level 50 plus, so that's very nice. Avila, so I'm pretty new at the game and started off with a lot of your videos to help me move around, but most of the things I want to ask are not in any videos. Okay, so go ahead and ask them. Use the Veil portal in Sunken City. Jiivita is how I found the trees. Oh, used, I guess, the Veil portal. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Hashtag brag. Can you please help me understand the portal system? So tomorrow, I have a crash course on portals that will go live. But since I'm the creator and I can leak my own stuff, I'll go ahead and give you the link to the video. So normally in order to get an early access video, you would have to be one of my patrons, but I'll throw you a bone because, yeah, I don't mind. Let's see here. I realize you probably just see the game right now, but I'm digging through my YouTube channel to find the link. Let's see here. Portal crash course and share. Okay, there is the link to the portal crash course. This goes over how to set up a portal, how to figure out like how big you have to make it, if you need skills to be able to travel to the planet, like, because you'll need skills to boost your range if you're trying to make a long range portal, and also shows off all of like the interesting mechanics of portals. Like your head is literally the only thing that has to go through the portal. You can like, you know, leave your feet behind or something. It's kind of crazy, but yeah. I think the plots have to be 3 wide minimum for it to count to bridge settlements. That sounds plausible. I think it also depends on like how stretched out they are, because I've heard some pretty weird reports on how settlements behave sometimes. They can be rather bonkers. So the safest thing is to like make sure it's basically a big clump or mass or square or cube, whatever you want to call it, really. Very possible. So Shanam, I'm gonna call you. I think we were hunting together yesterday on Circa, so yeah, I did manage to, I think I managed to participate in like 2 meteors, because I kept having to, yeah, I kept having to jump out of the game for random stuff. Oh, nice. So Jason's building his first portal today, so congrats on that. Oh my god, I love you, thank you. So yeah, no problem. I saw someone take over a hamlet with just a 1 by 2 wide plot bridge about 25 plots away. So yeah, there you go. The settlement algorithm detection thingy works in mysterious ways. I certainly, you know, heard where people have like, you know, laid out all sorts of things trying to get their you know, like their 2 friends trying to come together to make a settlement and having difficulties. So, so the beacon permissions for PS4, I can't invite my alt character. That is interesting. So your alts should be auto-friended. So you should be able to go onto your main character that owns the plot and go over to permissions. So come over here and say, you know, say Cymoid right here, or Fivemoid is my alt. I just click on him and I'd be able to give him all the permissions to my build. And if you give all 3 of these, it's the same as though you're playing on your main character. You have access to absolutely everything. Let's say I don't want him to be able to remove my crafting machines, so I can take this permission away. So now he can build and he can craft or access my storage blocks. Let's say I want him to help me build something, but I don't want him to access or be able to craft any of my, you know, any of my storage or crafting machines. I can take the worker away, and let's say if I don't trust him with building, I could take the building away and allow him to craft. So yeah, those are the permissions in a nutshell, but your friend or your alts should be auto-friended by all of your other characters, so just a matter of finding them in this list and awarding them. So Jason was saying you can't teleport to them, that you have to make your own way to them. So yeah, that is the unfortunate thing, is you can't. It would be nice if you could start next to your other characters the same way you can start next to your friends. But yeah, you have to, you know, start a new character and then they're going to literally have to make their way. You can start close to like the capital of the planet to make it easier on yourself, but it's still, you'll have a walk ahead of you depending on where you're living, to say the least. The nice thing is that you do have like a PlayStation Network friend or a Steam friend, and they are on the same planet as you are. You can start next to them and you can basically piggyback off of them to get you close to your base. I just don't see my alt on the list. So that is very strange. Yeah, if you can't see your other character in this list, I guess I would suggest going to the Boundless forums and reporting it as a bug. Let's see here, see if I can find the thread that you'll need exactly. because you should be able to see your other characters as friend on any of your other characters. And that's strange. Where's the thread for reporting bugs? There's, okay, 197.8. Where's 198? There we go. There it is. So yeah, you can report that issue at that link below. That's the release 198 report issues here thread. And so yeah, you should. Oh, the thread close. That's strange. So I wonder. Huh. I wonder why it closed. Anyway, you should be able to report it somewhere on the Boundless forums. You could create a new topic, I guess, and just tag somebody like Stegs, James, or Sam, and hopefully they can help you out with that, because that should not work like that. Play on PS4 today, and I did the logic thing and brought my game. Bought the game for PC thinking I could work on my things on my laptop too, but apparently you can't use your PS4 characters on PC. Yes, that is the unfortunate thing about the cross-platform play. There was some kind of limitation that each character has to be locked to the platform that it was created on. And I suppose that could be a reason why you know, maybe it's not automatically adding your PS4 players to your PC friends list or vice versa. So yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. Yeah, I've been toying with the idea of whether or not I want to get the PS4 version. Certainly I assumed I was going to get it, but since my characters would be locked to the PC version, I'd have to create a whole new character for PS4. I don't see a huge reason to do it. It would be nice like as a reference source, but yeah, that's an unfortunate thing, but it's apparently what they had to settle with to make cross-platform play work. Because apparently PlayStation is pretty picky on what it allows to be cross-platform. And so, yeah. So Mr. So-and-so was saying they had the same problem at first, but I don't know what changed it. So maybe it will eventually... It might just take a little bit of time for it to like trickle through whatever system it has to trickle through. So... So hopefully that gets resolved for you. So XY Crone or Zycrone, yeah, Zycrone, I think that's how that's pronounced. It's looking for shimmering orbs, but only found 8 so far. Do you know where to find them in more quantities? So the easiest way to find shimmering orbs is to head over... I feel bad for even saying this, but head over to one of my shops and you'll find a shop stand with about 800 of them stocked. But they are pretty expensive, so the way I get my shimmering orbs is I buy growth, and then I go out somewhere and I'll build a tower out of growth, and then I'll re-break the growth. And that is because growth has about like a 1 in 16 chance of dropping shimmering orbs. And so if you have a character that's spec'd to basically swing really fast and really hard with a shovel, you can go to like a level 1 planet and just go to town, and it's slow, but it's, at least to me, it's better than going out into the wild and hoping that you see that like one glowing mushroom, you know, that you find every like 20 minutes or something. So, so yeah, that's not the greatest answer. I wish I had a better one than that. But certainly the higher level planets will have them more often theoretically. I know Bezo Verona, Altinus, let's see here, the Shadow tier. I've seen they kind of favor like the foresty areas. So any planet that has foresty areas will have a chance for shimmering orbs. Or the shimmering fungus, I think is what it's called, or glow caps, or something like that. So, yeah. Yes, Combite, welcome to the channel. I don't know when you snuck in, but yeah, glow cap mushrooms are a pain to find. You used to be able to find them in the caves, like pre-launch, but you don't seem to find them in the caves anymore. So, or maybe I'm just not looking in the right caves. So I generally avoid caves just because I do a lot of bomb mining, and you know, you really kind of need solid rock to do bomb mining. Yeah, I've had to go back and scroll up and reread a whole bunch of stuff because I kind of get on a rant about talking about something, and then yeah, I miss stuff. So I apologize for missing that. Yep. Yeah, I've only found them on the surface as well, so. Why you gotta give away our growth trick? Hey, I'm about, you know, people ask questions, I answer them. So that's how we keep our monies. So yeah, you know, I guess I realize I'm hurting my own business by giving away the trade secrets, but you know, it's more or less public information. So please label your sign Portal Seeker Shopping Hub. Okay, am I on the wrong side of the hub, or? I guess so. Okay, so that's the north side. So, okay, yeah, it's over here. It's like trying to get to my shop stand in Aquatopia and got turned around. But yeah, certainly, you know, the easiest way is to buy them, but at 222 coins a pop, that's pretty exorbitant. So I am gradually lowering the price, but they're like flying off the shelves more or less, even at this price. So it's been going slower than expected to lower the price, and that's probably not something Pyro XNet, you know, really wants to hear. But and nice, looks like I got some coin from Pies. And didn't sell any fists since I've restocked. And whoops. Oh, that didn't help me much. There we go. Collect coin. Ooh, nice, and I even have some growth to collect. Some more coin over here. So yeah, from selling persisting pies and shimmering orbs, I've made over 1 million coin already, so that's pretty decent. And that's with buying most of my growth. I buy growth at like 50 coins a piece. However, I only really stock my basket when I need growth to restock the orbs. So as the orbs sell better, I buy more growth. If the orbs go too low on price, I'll probably have to drop the price on growth a little bit. But 50 coins a piece, I feel like that's a really nice price for anybody that wants to go out and get this stuff. You can find this stuff on the tier 4 planets. Like I get most of mine from Delta Concrete, And there'll be biomes where it's like a muddy island that's just kind of covered in growth. And that's kind of the tedious part for me, is having to go out and get it myself just to then re-break. So that is why I buy it. It cuts into my profits, but it saves me time, so it's worth it. Razul is asking how much are shimmering orbs. I sell for 222, I believe. And if anybody else sells for lower, I haven't seen it so far. But I also don't go shopping too often, so there could be somebody out there cheaper than me. So Combat saying there's also some decent growth on Cephonex. I think that's how that's pronounced. Oh, America, yeah. Yeah, America. The cactus-shaped prefabs. Okay, that's good to know. Found for lower, and the guy has a ton, but I will not tell. Oh, okay. So... So I'll have to take a look around, like drastically lower, or I don't know. He said he won't tell, so I'll just keep that in mind, that I'll need to lower the price at some point, because, I mean, I'm doing great on coin. I've proven to myself that this is a sustainable practice, at least for the time being, so I could certainly stand to lower my profit margins for the benefit of the customer. Best place to find exotic earth yams. So yeah, exotic earth yams. That will be the tier 6 planet. At least where I like to go for them is on Alkion, which is where we went bomb mining the other night. So, and they're found on the prickly... I don't know, the little cactus things. They're spine back plant or something. So here we go, Alkion, and they're found in the sandy deserts. So I believe there's one directly west of the hub. And see if I can get there without dying. Yeah. Oh, hit my head. So yeah, having some decent grapples on this planet is pretty invaluable. Oh wow, okay, 175 per shimmering orb. That's a pretty cheap price. I think back in early access it got down to like 190, so that's even lower than what it previously was. Oops. Let's see here. I think I can, yeah, there we go. New Ortis? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I'll find out soon. Okay. And the same thing can be done with exotic earth yams as what I do for the shimmering orbs. If you get mud and take it to like a tier 5, or I guess it might even be better on a tier 6 planet, you can break the mud over and over, and you'll get a lot of waxy earth yams, but you'll also get exotic earth yams. So if you're just absolutely desperate, you can do that. New Oort leans on minor. Is that eagle? I don't know. It's kind of getting chopped off for some reason. So, okay, so Sammy Yoke was asking if the devs retire a planet due to low activity, what will happen to our builds and blocks? My understanding is that they have no intentions of retiring any of the planets. So I've kind of wondered this myself in the past because, like, say, like, you know, the game blows up for a while and then all of a sudden it loses a lot of players, like they release a patch that a lot of people don't like or something, and all of a sudden now we have like ghost towns. Would they keep all those servers running? You know, that is a very good question. So, but yeah, this is where you can find the spineback plants for exotic earth yams, and it looks like it's pretty well picked clean. Certainly when this planet first released, oh, there we go, there's one. And yeah, these drop exotic earth yams. You can also find the Oortian staves rarely out here too. But since a lot of players have farmed here, it's getting harder and harder to find these things. But there are several really good-sized deserts all over this planet, so it might be just a matter of finding the right desert. Also in the more rugged mountain areas, you can find traveler's perches, and those will also drop exotic earth yams. Oh, here we go. So we got one right here, one over there, one right there, and I don't see any over there. Let's see if I... Yep, figures I forgot an axe. This character doesn't have any axe skills, so I don't always keep one on me. I guess I could probably just use a hammer. Seems like a waste, but does more damage than my totem. Yeah, basically, okay, so someone was asking, can you use the atlas to find shimmering orbs or exotic earth yams? I heard the regen bug is killing the resources. So I'm not sure it's really a bug, but player activity does disrupt regeneration. So yeah, the more players looking for the stuff, the slower it comes back, which really isn't a good thing. So if I pull out my atlas, let's see here, find the right one, probably going to have, here's Bezo Verona, rough diamond, there we go. So pull out my atlas, let's get that rough diamond out of there, and we can put an exotic earth yam in there. However, since they favor the deserts, the better thing to put in here would be the sweet beans. And for some reason, I'm not... Oh, that's because it's right there. So as you can see, like, okay, right over where we were, wow, that is really hard to see. There is just the faintest little dot. And I wish I could bring my cursor up and hold the atlas in front of me, but there we go. It's like right below my crosshair. And then there's one also over to the east off to the side. So if you put a sweet bean in there, you'll see a lot more hot spots because I guess naturally they would be closer together. And that will lead you to the deserts, which will lead you to the spineback plants. So you kind of sometimes have to get creative in the way that you use the atlas to not necessarily go directly for what you're looking for, but look for something that is found in the same place, like the Oortian staves, which give sweet beans, and the spineback plants, which gives the exotic earth yams. Shimmering orbs, there's really not a great way to do that one. You could look for maybe reactive lamella, and that should get you to either watery areas or forest areas. If you find an area with forest, then you're likely to find some glowing mushrooms, but they are pretty darn rare. And the good thing to note is that a hotspot doesn't form unless there's at least like 2 or 3 of them very close together. So if there's just like a single plant off in the distance somewhere, it won't show up on the atlas unless it has neighbors of the same type. So, so yeah, that's kind of, I guess, an atlas crash course for rare materials. Okay, so he's asking if you use a shovel epic and pick up a small version of a plant and then place it in your plots, will it grow to be a large version? So interestingly enough, the size of the plant really has nothing to do with how mature it is or what it's going to drop. There's kind of a system of, depending on where you place that plant, it will be different sizes. So it's like every so many blocks, the size of the plants will like randomly change. Or it's not really random, but a particular spot will always have like a large plant in it, and then its neighbor might have a small plant, and that kind of makes, I guess, the world look a little bit more organic or have a bit more variation. Very nice. There's another one. And, ooh, looks like we are quite hungry. I didn't notice that. So you could certainly place and replace and experiment and find locations where the surface resources at least appear to be big, but really it doesn't make any difference at all. So you place them and they don't change, in other words. And what is my dog doing? It's having a sneeze attack back there or something. Okay, so somebody was saying, saw in the forums that there was a bug that meant that if you didn't harvest blocks in the chunk and just got the resources, that the surface resources didn't respawn. Okay, that's interesting. So basically, like, you just go around and gather all the surface resources and don't actually break any blocks, that it doesn't trigger world regeneration. I'll have to check that out because I hadn't heard that one. And that is pretty unfortunate because, yeah, there's not a whole lot of reason to do a whole bunch of mining here. I mean, there's probably rubies underneath this desert, but certainly a lot of people are going for the surface resources for things like sweet beans and exotic earth yams, which are quite valuable and rare, probably because of the bug. So... okay, so I'm not really seeing... I'm probably going to get too close to this meteor. Where? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I don't... They will probably mop the floor with me. Yeah, I'm not seeing any more surface resources, but let's see here. How long have we been streaming? Okay, so 1 hour, 41 minutes. So I guess last round on any questions. Never did get to Cardass, but yeah, I did say, like, you know, ask questions and I'll explain. So, but yeah, last round on anybody want to ask any other questions or see anything. Otherwise, I think we'll go ahead and wrap this stream up. I think it's about time for lunch and a bathroom break, and yeah. So just kind of do some random exploring while see if we get any last minute. Fastest way to level by Zycron. Fastest way to level. So that's a bit of a trick question, I suppose. So starting off, you'll, of course, go through the tutorial. I do recommend making a second character to do all your crafting. For your crafter, to level him, I would recommend like use your main, get a whole bunch of stone, pick up the volumetric crafting epic, or which allows you to mass craft, and then mass craft all of your stone. A really cool trick that you can do to augment that even further is use a teaching food after you've queued all that stone up, and then log out to the sanctum. And as long as you're in the sanctum, the buff does not tick down. And then we can come back when all the stuff is done crafting, and all of that experience will be amplified by the teaching food. And then certainly you can queue up some more rock very quickly, return back to Sanctum to preserve your food buff. So you can really stretch out the benefits of a teaching food using that trick. And of course you can use your main character to go out and get more stone. However, that does keep your crafter a little bit imprisoned, I guess, because you don't want to leave Sanctum unless you have everything kind of set up. Certainly you could power level any character using that method, and it works pretty well. As far as leveling your main character, once you get to like level 20 something, you can like dump 4 points into kinetic armor. So come over here, skills, let's see here, kinetic armor. So 4 to 5 points into kinetic armor, maybe pick up some sling bow skills, and just go out like level 3 planets and solo meteors. And that can be a really powerful way to get some easy levels. It's fun to do. That kinetic armor makes you pretty much immune to everything except for like AoE attacks. So the hoppers and the bombs that like Cuddle Trunks throw at you, you will have to be careful with those. But yeah, it's a really nice way to level. I think I did like level 20 through like almost 30 doing meteors like that. Not to mention the animal loot is quite nice as well. Beyond that, from 30 up to 50, I used bomb mining, but that did see quite a bit of a nerf to experience, so that's not as fast. But if you're able to not break the resources, since resources do give more experience, that's not a terrible way to level either. So yeah, that's kind of at least my take on leveling as quickly and efficiently as possible. Electric Ninja says hi. How's it going, Electric Ninja? Wow, said that 3 times in a row. 4 times in a row. Okay. Ancient Corruption, please. The fastest way to level, thank you. Here is the exact place. I'm not sure what you mean by here is the exact place. Good tip, thank you. Ancient Corruption. The link to the bug I mentioned. Okay, I guess the link isn't showing up in the text or something. And yeah, so let's go show off some Ancient Corruption. Yeah, why so many highs? I guess he was afraid I was going to sneak out before I noticed or something, because I did get on a bit of a rant there. Oh my god, Jiivita said, you know, or oh my goodness, excuse me, said hi back. Yeah, there is some pretty cheesy ways to level, like if you're chiseling stuff inside of your beacon, that gives experience, and chisels also hit really fast, so you could certainly craft all of your stone into refined stone. Does chiseling refined stone give more experience? Or I haven't actually looked into that. Another thing you could do that's really super cheesy is to take machined titanium blocks. Those give you 20 experience each time you place them. Beacon like a tower or something, and you can place the titanium blocks, get 20 per each, and then break them. You only get 2 experience, which kind of sucks, but whatever. And then just replace the tower and just do that over and over. If you eat a teaching pie, you can get like 1 to 2 levels per pie, and each pie lasts like 40 minutes. But yeah, that's a super cheesy and boring way to level. And they'll probably patch that at some point. But yeah, the chiseling thing still works. You have to be inside of a beacon to get credit for any of the experience, but I don't really recommend those ways. But they are options, I suppose. So, Ancient Corruption. So I have a location saved here somewhere. That is... where is it? Doop-de-doop. Corrupted Forest. Here we go. And here we go. Here is Corruption. So we're on the Tier 6 burn planet, Alkion, and this is actually fairly close to the Ultima, was it Aqua Ultima Hub Incorporated? I think they're even changing their name or something. But yeah, it's northeast of here is that hub. So you can use that hub to get here, and they're pretty easy to find because there are these prefabs, they have gleam, and they favor these kind of, it's cool blue trees, and they're often found around lava lakes. And the most efficient tool to harvest these things with is shovels. And you could probably find these on other Tier 6 planets. This is just the one that I know about. So I could pull out a shovel and start digging this stuff up. These will occasionally drop shadow orbs, but usually shadow orbs are not that hard to find, so I haven't felt the need to farm this stuff over and over to get shadow orbs. Nor have I don't think I've ever actually used a shadow orb yet, so just haven't found a need to actually use them. But certainly this stuff is awesome to decorate with. Is there a good way to gather underwater coral that gives reactive lamella? I struggle to survive swimming so deep down and getting back up without dying. So that is actually where like a stealth gatherer comes in handy, because that control gives you the extra reach to not have to swim all the way to the bottom. Certainly if it's really deep, you'll still have to swim down quite a ways. Some areas you can like make your own little air pockets, but the usefulness of that is kind of limited. There is a quirk in the forge effects that theoretically will allow you to sink down in water faster, and I keep meaning to make the stuff to try that out, but I think I'm missing something like I think it takes adrenal glands to be able to craft that adds the quirk points. And not to mention there's a lot of quirks that aren't very fun, like when you hold the item you bleed sort of thing, or you only get the benefits of the item if you're low on health or low on stamina or hungry, or there's a lot of the quirks are not very happy. But there's some that sound pretty cool, like I've seen one that would potentially turn or make all blocks act like trampolines. I don't know if any of these are actually still in the game, which is why I've been meaning to play around with it, but certainly having like essentially iron boots or a hammer that made you sink really fast would be really helpful for that situation. Okay, do you have a vid on placing flowers in the base of the beacon? Do not understand how that is done. Placing flowers in the base of the beacon. Electric Ninja, you need the decoration skill and look into a refinery. I had a skinning quirk, but it didn't level. Oh, the sinking, yeah. So how do I craft shops? Level 2 decoration skill is needed to craft shop stands in a refinery. So yeah, when he goes around the growth to get the corruption. I'm not sure it's a quest. Okay. I think I missed out on, because I'm not really sure. feel like I missed something. But yeah, if it's a quest, I haven't really done many of the quests, so... Oh, nice. There's a spineback plant over there. And there we go. There's a... so what are these things called? Glowing cap fungus. Okay. So these are the things that give the shimmering orbs. And I think these have a small chance of giving sweet beans. But I didn't get one there. The elusive glow cap, yes, so hard to find. But yeah, they hang out in kind of foresty areas similar to this. Okay, well, I think we kind of ran out of questions. Looks like Electric Ninja got his answers, or his answers answered, his questions answered. There we go. Like, what is wrong with that sentence? Oh my goodness. About the shop stands and the flowers. So anyway, this was Jiivita. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more like this. I do have intentions of doing this roughly every Tuesday. I did miss live streaming on last Tuesday because I had a stomach bug, but moving forward, I'll be doing my best to do this every Tuesday. So yeah. If there's anything you didn't like, please let me know down below. Also, if you like my channel, want to get cool perks, check out my Patreon page. Until next time, peace. Let's go ahead and return to Sanctum. Yeah. If corruption came in like different colors, that would be awesome. But sadly, it's the one version for now. Maybe they'll add that in the future. You never know. I don't see any reason why they couldn't do that. Kind of make it like gleam, like different planets will have different colors for it. Yeah, I really wish they would add a breath brew or a underwater breathing brew or just something, or a skill that allows you to hold your breath for longer. Any one of those things would be amazing, because I mean there's some valuable resources down there underwater, but they're such a pain in the butt to harvest. So oh, very nice. Tuesday's my day off. Oh, no problem, Mr. Yeah, Mr. One, I'll call you. Okay, well, I think I'll go ahead and end the stream here. You all take care.